Hey guys, welcome back. Origami here, bringing you our very first live deck profile. If you guys didn't see, yesterday we did play an Ultra Necrozma GX Malamar deck versus a Zygarde GX with damage boosters. So we're going to be doing today Ultra Necrozma live deck profile, so you guys can see what the deck's all about. And tomorrow we'll do Zygarde, and then hopefully, if both these videos get enough likes, we'll go ahead and upload a best of 3 between these decks instead of just that one game. So you guys can see a nice long video between these two decks. Don't forget to like the video if you have not already. Your support's greatly appreciated. It's going to be a little bit echoey. I'm recording in a different space, but hopefully everything sounds fine. Anything else I need to say? Common question today is, what is one deck you're the most hyped for coming out of Forbidden Light? We have a pretty good idea of what's going to be in our English set. That's why we're playing all these things. And you know what? We only got a month left. We're going to be doing new decks every week, new matchups once we're done. After, like, in the 3rd week, we'll just do like a bunch of different random matchups because I don't know how many decks we can really play that are actually competitive. But regardless, yeah, we'll do Ultra Necrozma today. So we're going to go over all the Pokemon first. First things first, we do have our 3 Ultra Necrozma. I am only playing 3. Only because we do have lots of stretchers in this deck and Super Rod and stuff like that, so that getting Pokemon back in the deck is not going to be that hard. Now, Ultra Necrozma is 190 HP Dragon type Pokemon with 2 retreat. It has a weakness to Fairy, but we kind of have some covers for that, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. As you know, Guardian might become stronger because we're getting things like Diantha, which is a new supporter for Fairies, but we'll talk about that later. But Ultra Necrozma's first attack, he only has 2 attacks, no abilities, no third thing, just 2 attacks. Its first attack hits for 20 damage, and you must discard all basic psychic energies attached to this Pokemon. Hit for 80 more damage for each psychic energy you discard. So if you have just that psychic metal, you discard the psychic, and then you're doing 100 damage for 2 energies. So we want to obviously attach a bunch of psychic energies to this Pokemon. So 2 psychic energies means you're hitting for 180. Obviously 3 means you're hitting for what? 260? 260. That's a lot of damage, bro. You can hit for 260 for 3 energies. That's kind of crazy. Ultra Necrozma is very strong. Its GX attack is very interesting. It only works if there are a total of 6 prize cards or less remaining on the board, meaning combined with both yours and your opponent's. But if there is, you can put 6 damage counters on all of your opponent's Pokemon. I believe that's the translation. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat comments. But the GX attack's not as strong compared to other GX attacks we might be playing in decks, but it's still pretty interesting, especially if you combine it with Espeon. Overall, we are playing 3. Count them 3 Ultra Necrozma. Having 190 HP is really strong. Being able to hit for big numbers just constantly is also really strong. And also, I'm trying to like work with this natural lighting we got going on, and these are all paper, so there might be like a little bit of a glow in the middle. I'll put them right here actually. How about that? That looks like it won't glow as bad. So 3 Ultra Necrozmas right there, and obviously we want to pair it with our good buddy with a 3/3 line of Inkay and a 3/3 line, so a 3/3 line of Inkay Malamar. Now this is the engine of the deck. Malamar has the ability to accelerate 1 psychic energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. It doesn't have to be a specific type. I don't think it has to be any like basic or stage 1. You can just accelerate psychic energies from your discard pile to your Pokemon. Very, very, very strong. 90 HP, weak to psychic, which is not great. 2 retreat, which is not great. But we do have Ultra of the Moon in this deck, which does give a free retreat. It has a single psychic energy attached, which is always pretty useful. Its first Pokemon, Inkay, is actually not that bad too. For a single psychic energy, you may put your opponent to sleep. That can work around a lot of different scenarios. For instance, I should have been using Inkay more often in that Zygarde matchup because it can put my opponent to sleep, and then they have to flip more and things like that. Sleeping is never a bad status condition. Also 60 HP. Unfortunately, no 70 HP Inkays or different type Inkays, but we can work with it. It all makes the what's it called? It makes the mystery treasures that we'll be talking about soon live as well. Other Pokemon we're playing, some small text here and there. Of course, we have our Dawnwings Necrozma. Dawnwings Necrozma actually serves multiple uses. It does have that sweet invasion ability. Let me see if I can make it. There we go. Once during your turn, you may attack. Before you attack, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may switch it with your active Pokemon. So it's another Russian ability, which is really strong in this deck because it does give you an ability. Does give you a chance to put this in the active because you can only recharge on your bench using Malamar. You switch your Malamar from your active position to your bench by using this ability. Attach 1 psychic energy to this, and then hopefully you have that Ultra the Moon out to get free retreat later, so you can charge up your Ultra Necrozma, switch back, and boom, you're ready to attack. But this Pokemon's not a bad attacker either. You can hit for 120 psychic base damage, which is enough to knock out belted Buzzwoles, which is always really good. And then Moon Eclipse GX is definitely not bad. You can hit for 180. We do have Beast Energy, which works on a lot of our, and I think all of our attackers, honestly, except for, I guess, Lele, sure. But Moon Eclipse EX does hit for 180, and you are immune to damage next turn, but it only works if your opponent has less prize cards remaining than you. If you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, as you can see there. So it's nice to be immune to pretty much everything. It gives you a turn to stall as well. And it's easy to set up thanks to Malamar as well. We're also playing a 1-of Celesteela GX. We're only playing the Celesteela to deal with Guardy because its attack cost only costs 1 metal. We can easily attach the metal, accelerate using our Malamar as a psychic type attacks, and then hit for Moon Press and knock out Fairy Weak Pokemon for 1-hit KOs, which is always good. Blaster GX is a decent GX attack as well, being able to look at all your prizes in case you do have a couple things prized that you want to grab. And Rocket Fall, I mean, it's an option. Rocket Fall does hit for, I believe, was it? 30 more damage for each colorless in your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. Not something we want to do, but I mean, it's pretty useful against Guardy at some moments, and you can abuse Beast Energy onto this thing as well. We'll talk about Beast Energy at the end of the video, but it's there. It's a good card. Beast Energy makes this deck very, very strong. 1 Oranguru. Oranguru, not only is it good for getting your draw support, but Psychic is actually not a bad attack as well, being able to OHKO any Attack Hoopa decks. So Attack Hoopa is probably going to be less useful after this new set comes out if we do get that baby Buzzwole, which we'll be talking about in tomorrow's video. But in case it is a problem, Psychic is pretty good against Attack Hoopa, being able to OHKO them if they're fully charged up, if they don't have any belts attached. Psychic overall is not a bad attack, single prize attacker, and of course Instruct is the main reason why we use it. And of course, 2 Leles. Of course we are playing our Leles. These are proxies because my other Leles are my other decks, but the Leles are just good because, you know, we can get them with Mystery Treasure. They're fairly easy to just whatever, they can get them with Mystery Treasure and Ultra Ball, so it's easy enough to always get a supporter in your hand thanks to Mystery Treasure as well. Mystery Treasure is very, very good. It's very, very good, and we're gonna start talking about that soon. Of course, we are playing standard 4 Ultra Balls because that's what you do. You want to discard as many Psychic Energies as possible, as well as get your Pokemon as much as you can as well. So we are going to stick with 4 Ultra Balls. I know some people are saying cut the Ultra Balls because you have Mystery Treasure now, but I just really like discarding energies. So having those Ultra Balls around are really, really good. And we're combining it with a heavy count of search. We have 4 Ultra Balls and 4 Mystery Treasures. Mystery Treasure, first of all, I love the artwork of Mystery Treasure. It's a Psychic Energy and a Dragon Energy looking symbols combined, and that's so dope to me. Second, what it does is that you may discard 1 card from your hand. If you do, you may search your deck for any Dragon or Psychic type Pokemon from your deck to your hand and put them into your hand. So as you can see, all of our Pokemon except Malamar and Celesteela are Psychic and Dragon types. So Mystery Treasure, very live throughout the game. Very good card. Another thing we're doing is this deck, since we have to use a bunch of bench, it's very, very weak to Parallel. And it's very, very weak to Ability Lock. So I am playing a heavy 3 count of Field Blower. That way Garbodor is less of an issue. Parallel City is less of an issue. All those things are not as big issues. I'm also playing 2 Rescue Stretchers and a Super Rod. I try to play as aggressively as I can with this deck. We're going to talk how we don't play Bridget in this deck soon. I don't think you need Bridget because you have 8 Pokemon Search. So being able to draw and get Pokemon into your hands is you really only need like 2 Inkays on your bench on your first turn. You don't even need like an attacker on your first turn. As long as you have your 2 Inkays so that you can evolve them to Malamar the following turn, you should be fine. But since that's all we really need, being able to use things like Sycamore and draw supporters and stuff like that, to me is way more valuable than playing a turn 1 Bridget. So I'm opting not to play Bridget in this deck, but because I'm playing a lot of Sycamores in this deck, I am playing Super Rod. We're limited on our Metal Energy attachments, so I want to be sure to have a way to put Metal Energies back in the deck in case we have to toss a bunch early game. And the stretchers are obviously because like your opponent's probably going to target down those Malamars, so you want to be able to shuffle in the Malamars back as much as possible. Since you have so much search, it shouldn't be that hard to constantly get them out. So we are playing a heavy Malamar count. I am playing 2 Professor's Letter. I opt to play more Professor's Letter over more Metal Energies because this kind of gives you the same effect as playing Metal Energies, because you can get the Metal Energy into your hand while also getting Psychic Energies into your hand that you can discard relatively easily. So I like the letters a lot. I am playing a 2 count. For now, that's gonna stick. We might change it later in the future, but for the time being, I am gonna stick with 2 until, you know, the meta actually comes out and I can decide what I want to change around. But those are probably gonna be the first things to go, if anything. But it does make getting Metal Energies a lot easier. And we're also playing 3 Altar of the Moons. They essentially count as float stones for us, but it's a stadium. I like the stadium more because we can bump parallel with it. So we have 6 ways to get rid of Parallel City in this deck, and Parallel City is a problem. It's not as big of a problem as people think it is. As long as you have 2 Malamars on your bench, you should be fine, honestly. But because it's easy enough to parallel and knock out a Malamar at the same turn, I want to make sure I have Ultra Necrozma, lots of Ball Search, things like that. So, Altar of the Moon, not Ultra Necrozma, by the way. So that's going to be the items. It's a lot of items, and the 1 stadium, of course. So, obvious weakness to Trash Lanch is there, but we can work around Trash Lanch. We just have to be very smart with how you draw, and how you play your cards. We do have 4 Sycamore standard, 3 Cynthia. It's kind of standard for me. This is how I like to play my decks nowadays. 3 Ends, of course, and 3 Guzmas. In the what's it called? In the I can't think of the name right now. In the Garbodor matchup, I like to abuse Dawnwing's Necrozma, since everything is weak to Psychic, usually because they're playing it with like Lucario, or sometimes they play with Zoroark, sometimes they play with Espeon. Most of the matchups that do play Trash Lanch Garbodor, I have Dawnwing's Necrozma to do, as long as I can set up maybe 1 or 2 Malamar. It's easy enough to set up a Dawnwing's Necrozma. Dawnwing's Necrozma is weak to Dark, not Psychic, so it does have that benefit in some of those matchups. So being able to use my Shuffle Draw instead of my discard, unless I can discard because I have many items, and combine it with Guzma to Guzma up the Pokemon that are weak to Psychic or weak to Dawnwings is always really, really strong. So supporter count, fairly simple, nothing too crazy here. And as you can see, we're not playing any choice bands. I feel like you don't need choice bands, but the more I play, the more I kind of like want one, just because sometimes it is nice to hit that 210 number with only 2 Psychic Energies attached. But the cuts, I'm not really feeling it, and I'm just not really feeling choice band at all. The more I want to play it, the more I don't really care. But the Psychic Energy counts, we are playing 3, 6, 9 Psychic Energies, making sure we can constantly get our Psychic Energies into our hand. We are playing just a small amount, 4 metals, because the metals we just want to get into our hand at some point, and we're playing 1 Beast Energy. Now, Beast Energy is really cool. It's a special energy card and a Prism card, so you can only play the 1, obviously. But because the Beast Energy, what it does is that you can attach it to any Ultra Beast Pokemon. It counts as any type of energy, and your attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So it's Rainbow meets Mega Strong Energy for all of our Ultra Beasts. As you can see, we do have quite a few Ultra Beasts in the decks. We have Celesteela, we have Dawnwings, and of course we have our Ultra Necrozmas as well. But so it does have its uses. Also, it does count like a choice band, so it doesn't mean you hit that 210 number without the need to get choice band. And that's the thing with this deck, right? Is like I can play more damage boosters like choice band, but I don't really feel like it's necessary. I feel like that's just hindering the overall consistency of the deck. And the most important thing to me in this deck is to be as consistent as possible. But that's going to be the deck, guys. Thank you guys for watching today. Definitely go ahead and give me some, if you guys have any ideas of what I should play differently, what you guys would like to play differently, what you guys would like to see me play in the future, let me know, because we are out here right now. We are building a bunch of Footprint and Light decks until the set officially releases. So be hyped for that. I'm super excited. This set's kind of cool, man. I like some of the cards in the set. It's not my favorite set by any means, but I do like a lot of the Pokemon in the set. Regardless, drop a like on this video if you have not already, subscribe, share all that good jazz, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.